thousands of homes in Kenya. We want affordable homes. It cannot be done the way it has been done. And if tech has been utilized in every other sector to make things easier, to make things efficient, to make things affordable, it only makes sense that the same will apply for construction.
Okay, great. Everybody always wants to know, where is the low-hanging fruits? If you think about the construction value chain, where can they start plucking?
So, if you look at the sector, I think Charity has mentioned all the different stages. The problems are in different tiers. So, if I look at the room, a lot of us from the construction sector are in the supply chain sector. It is impossible if you're not in the sector to know the true cost of anything. If you want to know the true cost of Windows today, if you walk into store X, it is Y. If you walk in looking a certain way, it is Z. If you look like you understand the language, it is T. I think there is that clear opportunity where let there be the transparency. Let there be efficiency. So I think supply chain is one. You can't talk about construction and not talk about the financing element. I think that banks have shied away from financing the construction sector for some good reasons, but I think that can we get alternative data that can actually enable banks or enable financiers to be able to provide, whether it's working capital for the supply chain, whether it is development financing for the developers, or whether it's a different way to think about mortgages or financing of housing construction. I think these are the two areas I would say are definitely ripe for disruption.
Wonderful. And in terms of like a general opportunity in the construction space, where do you think the biggest size of the pie lies?
I think that if you think about it, by 2030, a majority of Africans will live in cities. When you live in a city, you need to build homes. You need houses, and there's no way to think about it. And when you think about the fact that this is a sector that will be growing in terms of market share, I think it only makes sense to say the pie is here. Can we think about what the future will look like, as opposed to, we've been doing business a certain way. This is how customers order. This is how we price. This is how we finance. This is how we fulfill. I think there's clear opportunity that really just exists in first tackling the ease of constructing. Even before we touch on anything else, it is difficult to construct, and it doesn't have to be as difficult. And I think we can start with just the knowledge. As you said, a piece, everyone relies on somebody they know, who has built somewhere 5 years ago. Whether they've built or not is not clear, because the knowledge of it is very difficult. And when you now